Hey everybody, welcome to my kitchen. This is Mark, Killer Grove Mark, and welcome again. Today's topic of discussion is going to be pellet smokers. I'm a big fan of pellet smokers. I'm actually a big fan of all smokers. I love an offset smoker. I think they're amazing. If you've got access to the right woods reasonably, I think you can't go wrong with an offset smoker. I have a pellet smoker. I absolutely love my pellet smoker. People can say whatever they want about a pellet smoker. I've been smoking meat since 1985 or 87, something like that. I honestly don't remember the exact date, but it's been a minute. And I've smoked with all kinds of smokers. And they're all great. They all do a great job if you know how to use them and if you care for them properly. And that is what the topic of today's discussion regarding pellet smokers is going to be. It's actually taken me quite a while to get to where I could actually do this video. Because today's topic is actually going to be what happens if you don't properly care for your pellet smoker. And this will apply to pretty much any pellet smoker because they all basically operate, as far as my knowledge is, on the same basic principle. Okay? You've got a hopper that holds your pellets. You've got some kind of device that transports the pellets over to a burn pot. You've got an igniter inside the burn pot that ignites the pellets and they burn. Okay? Most of them have what's called a worm drive, which is a very simple piece of technology that's dated back to forever. Anyway, it worked really good. Herein lies the issue with a pellet smoker is if you don't properly clean your pellet smoker, and I'm not saying every time you use it you got to scrub it and clean it and vacuum it out. No. A lot of that has to do with the quality of the pellet you use. Some pellets make a lot more ash than others. Some pellets make a lot less ash. I've trial and error over the years. I've had a pellet smoker, and I've actually had this pellet smoker. This is 2 years I've had this pellet smoker, and I think everybody here has probably heard of the flame-out when it comes in regards to pellet smokers, where just you're right in the middle of a smoke and it makes this poof sound and flames come. I mean, I've even seen videos where it actually blew the lid off of a Traeger. You know, the lid you open up to access the inside. It literally blew that lid off. Now, I've had a flame-out twice. The first time was due to my ignorance, and I'd only had this pellet smoker a couple months. I had cleaned it, but then I tried a new pellet. I'm not going to mention any names, brands, or whatever. That's not what this is about. But I will link in the description the pellet that I buy. I will, in the description of the video, I will put in there the brands of pellets that I buy. And I've had extremely good luck with them. One of them is actually the Pit Boss brand, and the other is Louisiana Grills pellets. I believe that's what it's called. I'll have to look. They're out in my garage. Anyway, and I've had very good luck with them. They burn hot, they burn clean, they don't make a lot of ash. So this video, let's get back to the video, is it took me a long time. I wanted to make this video a while ago, but it took me a while of not cleaning out my smoker and before it finally had a flame out. And the video is going to be, okay, I haven't even looked, I had the flame out. Luckily, I was doing some ribs. They were already almost done. I'd wrapped them. They'd been back in the smoker for about a half an hour after I wrapped them. And boom, flame out. And I'm like, finally. So I pulled my ribs out of there right away. I turned it on to its cool down mode, and then once it cooled down, I unplugged it. And I literally unplugged it from the power source. I let it cool down completely. I threw my cover on it, and that I haven't touched it since that day because I wanted to make this video so we can all look and see, and then we can talk about what you need to do to avoid a flame out. So without further ado, let's get over there out to the smoker and let's take a look, okay? All right, so here we are. There's my pit boss. Still haven't taken the cover off of it, so start by taking the cover off. There she is. There she is in all of her glory. I mean, whatever. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get in there and get it pulled apart and see what we got, okay? So I'm gonna pop it open. I've got a shop vac out here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the grates out of it. Okay, and the next step will be to take out the shroud, the heat shroud right here, okay? I'm going to bring you guys in for a little bit closer look, alright? Alright, you should be able to see pretty doggone good in there right now and see the shroud. And obviously there's quite a bit of gunk on the shroud, okay? I'm going to go ahead and pull out this grate. Set it over here. Okay, and there's our shroud. It's pretty easy to remove. You just pick it up and you pull it on out, straight out. It comes straight out. It fits right out the hole. All right, so you can see inside here there's quite a bit of ash. I mean, that's got to be probably about the most amount of ash I've ever seen in this. There's chunks down here. Get down in here. There's chunks down in here around the igniter. And I mean, it's not nearly as bad as I thought it would be, considering. But the problem, I'm sure, is inside this, because right here, if you can see my finger right there, that's why I have these bright gloves on. Right there is where the worm drive feeds the pellets into the burn pot, okay? And what's probably occurred is it had enough in here burning that it started burning the pellets that were actually in the worm drive. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'll vacuum all this out, clean it all out, okay? Check my, yep, I have pellets. So let's get this thing plugged in. There we go. It's clean now. Alright? The next step is, of course, to clean the heat shroud. And all I do is scrape mine off. I don't wrap it in foil, do all kinds of crazy stuff. The stuff that's on it literally comes right off. I'm not going to cover that. I covered that in a previous video on cleaning the Pit Boss. This video literally is strictly about what it looked like after I had a flame out, and honestly it didn't look as bad as I thought it was going to look. I thought it was going to look terrible. Now what I'm going to do at this point in time is I'm going to turn it on, all right, and I'm going to have it feed. And I have not plugged it in since I had the flame out. So let's go ahead and I'm going to turn it on and just turn it on to smoke, and let's see what happens. All right, the fan came on. It should start feeding pellets. Now I want to see, yeah, you can see, so some of the pellets that are coming out are already burned. I don't know if you can see that, but some of the pellets I buy are not black. You can get those charcoal pellets, but I've never bought them, I've never used them. But some of the pellets you can see right there were a little black, but everything, just a couple right in the very beginning. All right, everything that's coming out now looks perfect. It looks fine. It looks perfect. All right, it's feeding just fine. There's no more burnt pellets coming out. And okay, now you can see the igniter is ignited and it is starting to light the pellets. There we go. Now we've got a flame, and now the actual heavy smoke should subside. Once we got, well, the flame went out, it should come back. Okay, you see the flame? Now the smoke should subside. There we go. That's how it's supposed to operate right there. Okay? See all the smoke going away? There we have it. There is how a pellet smoker operates. Now I'm going to go ahead and shut it down and put it in cool down mode, because you know I don't have any meat ready to throw on the smoker right now. So we're going to go ahead and shut it off, shut it down, and always don't just unplug your smoker, right? Don't just unplug it. It has a cool down phase, right? And it has to go through that cool down phase. So I'm going to go ahead on my Pit Boss. All you do is turn the switch off. They made it real simple. You turn the switch off and it automatically goes into that cool down phase. Alright? So I'm not going to sit here and record this whole cool down phase for you, because you know you don't need to see all that. I'll see you back in the kitchen. Alright, so we're back in the kitchen, and I'm gonna make this short and sweet. I don't want to talk for 10 minutes, but I do want to touch on taking care of your Pit Boss, taking care of your pellet smoker. Let's take Pit Boss out of the equation. It's just pellet smokers. They all work on the same basic concept, okay? So they all require the same basic care, and the care that you need to provide for that smoker is One, clean it out, take it apart and clean it. I don't know, man. I mean, I found out it was about seven. I ran 7 different smokes for at least 8 hours. I know that for a fact that I did one pork butt that was 13.5 hours. Okay, I did pork belly burn-ins. I did ribs a couple of times. Ribs usually take, depends really, I mean, it really depends on how meaty the ribs are, all that, but ribs take anywhere from 5 to 7 hours. Also depending on the temperature. Sometimes I smoke them at 225, 250, sometimes I smoke them at 180 degrees. If I do it 180, it takes a little longer. Most of the time I do ribs 225 to 250. Alright, about 5 hours. But anyway, I did 6 or 7 smokes. I can't remember exactly how many. I wasn't writing it down. I'm not nearly that organized. But it was 6 or 7 smokes that I went without doing anything but cleaning off the grates. I just kept feeding the damn thing pellets and cooking until it went poof. And I honestly, I was surprised when I opened it up and saw it wasn't that bad. I mean, there was a lot of ash in there. There were some chunks in the bottom. I think that's because I turned it onto the cool down setting, which on my pit boss, like I said out there, all you do is turn it off and it automatically goes into a cool down phase. And what that basically does is it keeps the fan going and it continues to burn off what pellets are in the burn pot until they're burned completely, and then the fan will shut off. Alright, that's the cool down phase. It works really good, obviously. You saw it out there. Actually, the last time that I had a flame out, I had only done, I think, 3 smokes. It was on the 3rd, I'd done 3 smokes, it was on the 4th one, and man, it flamed out. And I actually took it apart and cleaned it right then, and it was bad. I mean, it was way worse than it was just now, that time. So anyway, I hope this helps you out. You know, a lot of people literally go crazy cleaning their smokers. They spray some kind of cleaner inside of the doggone things, outside, they wipe them down, they scrape, they do all this stuff. This is just my opinion. And a friend of mine, Dee, she put it perfectly. And she actually put it in a comment on my last video about cleaning my pit boss. And what she said was, keep it seasoned like an iron skillet. Alright, so that's what I do. I don't spray crap on it. I don't scrape everything down. You saw exactly what I do. I take everything apart, I vacuum it out real good, and that's it. I mean, I clean the heat shroud. I scrape all the gunk off the heat shroud, and believe me, it almost falls off by itself. And then I put the heat shield back in. Make sure that you get the dogs on the left-hand side. There's 2 slots on either side of your heat shield, and there's lips that they pop right onto. Make sure you get those set properly. If you do that, it'll be in there perfect. Make sure you use a good quality pellet. That the first time mine had a flame out, it had a flame out after 3 smokes because the pellets I were using were dirty. Literally, they left a lot of residue in the burn pot and on the inside of the smoker. And that's why after only 3 smokes, that's why I had a flame out. Now, I know basically now that I've figured out what pellets burn clean and what pellets don't, I cleaned it out about after every 4. Now, I was on number 7 when it flamed out, but I don't want to let it get that bad. All right. So basically, here's what you want to do. You want to maintain it. You want to clean it. How you clean the inside of your smoker is your business. I'm not going to say that spraying stuff on the inside of it and scrubbing it down and doing all that is wrong or right. It's just not what I do. I like to leave it seasoned, as Dee said, like an iron skillet. I do clean my grates. All right, I do clean the grates because you got to be careful. If you don't clean your grates and you just cook on dirty grates, bacteria can form. Because we smokers, you're not smoking at 400 degrees. You're smoking at 200 degrees or 250. Okay, so be cautious, be careful of bacteria. You don't want bacteria to form on your grates. Okay. I do clean those. Now, I don't take them out and scrub them with soap and water, but I aggressively clean them with a brush. Okay? I aggressively clean them with a brush. That's what I do. Till they're clean. I mean, you saw when I pulled them out, I had not touched those. They were pretty clean because I keep them clean. Okay? They're I don't know, porcelain coated grates. Okay? So they're not that hard to clean. So anyway, maintain it, clean it, use a good quality pellet. And just because it has a name on it like Traeger or whatever does not mean that it's good quality pellet. Trial and error. Buy different brands, you know, run an 8, 10, 12, 14 hour smoke and then open it up and see how much ash is in there. That's how you're gonna know. Plus by the flavor that it imparts in the meat. Okay, so maintain it, clean it, use a good pellet. All right, and that's it. That's it. They are so low maintenance, it's ridiculous. Okay, smokers in general are low maintenance. Okay, but anyway, thank you for watching the video. I appreciate it. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate it. I want to thank each and every one of you subscribers out there for subscribing to my channel and watching my videos. I can't even tell you how it makes me feel to know that people are out there watching my videos and maybe learning a little something from them. Okay? Comment, please. I am getting a lot more comments now, and man, I'm enjoying reading, even the ones that are, you know, calling me out on something. I enjoy that too. I'm here to learn just as much as you are here to learn. I want to learn every day. Okay? If you like the video, man, hit that like button. Let me know you like the video. Leave me a comment. And please, if you have not subscribed to my channel now, please subscribe. I love it when I see that I have new subscribers. And unfortunately, because of the way the settings are on YouTube, I don't know if most people don't know this, but your settings, the settings, unless you go in there and change the settings, nobody knows you subscribe to your channel. You have to go in there and actually check a box that would allow me to know who you are. So I know almost none of my subscribers. I would love nothing more than to send a subscriber a message and say thank you for subscribing, but I don't know who you are. I don't generally find out who people are until they actually leave a comment, but that's fine, you know, whatever, it's all good. Anyway, subscribe, like, leave me a comment. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate it. I'm gonna make more videos. I apologize. I was on vacation. What was gonna be a 4 or 5 day vacation, I ended up taking 2 weeks vacation. And then some other things just kept me. I actually am back to work now. I was off work. I got laid off because of the flu thing. I don't want to say it because, you know, the algorithm. But anyway, I'm back to work now. It was 3 months and 3 days of not working, and I had fun but I'm glad to be back to work. Anyway, I will keep the content coming. I do have a list of videos that I am going to make. If there's a video you would like to see me make, tell me. All right? If there's something that you would love to learn how to make or whatever, tell me. Okay? I'll be honest, if I don't know how to do it, I don't know how to do it. But if I do, I will make that video. So thank you again. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.